Guten Tag und willkommen zurück auf Erlengrat. Episode 12, I believe. As you can see, I have been doing a little bit of logging to try and clear up this area here, bring a little bit of openness. I ran into a small problem though. When I cut the first tree length, I was fine, and then for some reason I cut the next little bits a little bit too long, and well, they basically hit the back of my pickup truck, so I had to cut them again and put them in the back of the truck. The other thing that's kind of funny is I have a truck full of logs from some pretty big pine trees. I already took the oak away that was there. But my tires aren't sinking into the ground. I have a trailer full of honey, and the tires sink into the ground. Kind of odd. Wonder what kind of friggin' honeybees they have here that cause the honey to be that heavy. Oh, I gotta finish strapping. I did that. And there we go. So let's get this down to the sawmill. We'll come back for those. And I got a couple more that, of course, rolled down the hill. Fortunately, the lumber mill is just down the street. So as you can see, February is almost over. We're about to start spring. And hopefully that will be when we start getting some contracts again. While we have a decent war chest built up in the bank account, I don't think it's enough because that's it, $4,000 for all that wood. Gee, boy. We'd be better off, I don't know. I guess wood's not that profitable. What is profitable is the furniture business. Now there is a furniture factory around. But we gotta ship the goods by train to get to it. Okay, so do I have anything else left lying around here? I got the stumps I gotta clear, but I'll take care of those in a little bit. It looks like they said in the patch that the grass had been fixed, but I still don't see it growing in that bare spot over there where I forgot to mulch. Before I go to bed tonight, I'll take the roller to it and see if I can do anything with it. Odd thing was, don't know how, but we seem to have ended up with a whole bunch more chickens than we had before. Not that I'm complaining. Hopefully that'll mean lots more eggs. See, look at all this lumber. But I gotta be careful. Apparently there are restrictions on how much you can cut and for what reasons. The trees near the side of the road, I claimed were interfering with the line of sight, and that seemed to be good enough. These trees, with the barn, and they bought it. I can't keep using that forever. They would much rather, well, logging is a rather protected industry in Switzerland because, well, the forest, I mean, most of the, over the centuries, it's not like North America where we're still relatively new, but over the centuries in a lot of European countries, a lot of the wood just got hacked down, and there was no reforestation program in place like there is in North America. Now, it's kind of like the Wild West days, or, well, it was like the Wild West days. Basically, if you could cut it, you could sell it, you could burn it, you could build a house with it. So let me load up the, oh boy, there goes the honey. Let me load up the trailer. I'm going to finish taking some wood back to the sawmill, and then I will tell you the plan. Actually, I know what the plan is, and I'm going to keep you for a minute. Well, nah, change of plan. Let me check. Who buys planks? The supermarket, of course. It's the only place that seems to buy everything around here. This town definitely needs a little bit of everything. Guess it's up to the right enterprising individual to help spur local industry. But for now, that's not the plan. The plan, well, I mean, it is part of the plan. The plan was originally to, let's see how much money we make from this one. I can afford it. Yeah, I can afford it. Just gonna oh, it's 100,000. Well, we'll wait on that. We'll just sell the wood. I thought it would be like 50,000. 3,477. I think we were in the 3,400 range before too. So let's get back to the yard. and then I'll tell you the plan. Well, let's see what's on sale. There's nothing on sale, already checked. The chicken trailer. We don't really need that, although expanding the animal business would be nice. Chickens are actually quite profitable. And most livestock is subsidized by the government, so... The beef cows are doing well. Their value's going up. Question is, we had a surveyor in, had a look, and there's not enough room here for a proper dairy barn. So the pasture and the hand milking, well, that's out. I'm not doing that. That's just too much effort. But we were looking at putting in a proper barn with milking stalls and an area for the cows, but it would be a major expense, especially as we'd have to dig up half the yard. Not saying it's not doable, but there are other spots that we have in mind. The plan right now is to buy field 3 and 4. Definitely 3 and maybe 4. And then buy some implements to actually start working that ground. That's why I keep checking the sales. I mean, we're looking at what? 35,000, and then another, this one's 285,000. It's because of all this stupid grass. We don't need more grass, but I guess if that's what the farmer owns, the farmer owns. He claims to be giving us a deal, but it doesn't seem to be that much of a deal. He's trying to get out ahead of the bank, and I mean, we could wait for the bank to foreclose, but there's no guarantee that in the sale after the bank forecloses that we would actually have the winning bid for those 2 fields. So that's why we're just looking at buying them outright. So, anyways, all the chores are done for the day. I think tomorrow will be market day again. We got a little bit of fresh veggie to go. Chickens are okay. And we've got some wool to go. And being March, we might actually get some contracts going. I don't think there are any contracts right now. I think I checked this morning when I got up. Yeah, no contracts available. So, I'm going to go to bed, and I'm going to see you all in the morning. Good morning, and there you are. Well, I just sold the last of the wood for a whopping $2,161. Wasn't quite as large a load as the last one. Come on, move. I want to get back on the street. Oh my God, she's ugly. Let's go take a look at these 2 fields. We'll see what condition they're in. And then we'll see what we can do with them. This one's nice and lime, so that's good sign. Geez, only 50% of it is farmable. I mean, although this would be a decent spot for a cow barn down the road. And this one looks like it's in rough shape, full of weeds. Okay, so it doesn't need fertilizing or plowing, so that's a good sign. It's ready to be planted as well. And up here, he's got a nice crop of barley in here. So the area is 11 acres. That's 14 technically, but we're buying a lot of grassland with it. And that's 11 harvestable acres. Yeah, see, the problem with this field too is you're buying a lot of grassland. And it's hilly, so there's not that much you can do with it. Well, let me go check with the lawyers and the wife, and then we will decide tomorrow what to do. Okay, so we made a decision. We ended up purchasing Field 3 because it was a pretty good deal. And when the other farmer heard we were in the market for a field of arable land, they offered us a good deal on Field 19, which he had just, had recently seeded in the fall with wheat. Now, we decided in our new field to put oats in, so oats and wheat, because oats, wheat, and barley all get harvested in July. That means we only need to rent a combine harvester for 1 month. The other plus is, we ended up buying a cedar, as you can see. Not a bad little cedar. It's I'll show it to you in the shop. It's the Vaderstat Rapid 800S. Yes, it was expensive, but it was within the horsepower range of our tractor. And it was 8 meters. Versus 6 meters, and it holds a little bit less seed than this one did. Whether we should have gone with this one because it can do fertilization at the same time, or this one, I'm not sure. But the extra width was definitely appealing. We do have a fertilizer spreader, so it's not as though we're stuck there. The only things we're going to need to buy now are a roller, and yes, that's fairly expensive, a weeder, We don't need to mulch until after harvest, so we don't need to worry about that till then. So we need basically a roller, a weeder, and we have the fertilizer spreader. So we should be good to go. The only question is, well, we'll wait to see what we have after we've finished these contracts, and then we've sold our wool. Well, wool's not being sold, but well, we'll wait to see what we have left over. We may purchase a slightly smaller field, or if we buy a field, we're not going to have enough money for a cattle pen. So that's a toss-up right now. Which would you, the viewer, rather see? A cattle pen for dairy cows, or would you rather see us grow the arable side of the farm? Sound off in the comments. And yes, it's going fairly quickly. Combine we can lease, I'm not worried about that. I would like a well, what's the horsepower rating on a roller? 160, so we could get, yeah, we can get that and start rolling with the other tractor. So let's buy the roller and the weeder. Nine meters. I don't need the seating ability for that. But it's 12 meters, and that's 15 meters. Let's go with the roller first, and then we'll make a decision from there. We don't need a license plate as far as I know on a roller. We'll set up standby. We'll go with BKT because that's the way we roll. So, I mean, I would say we could lease the roller for now, but we're going to need it every year from here on in, no matter how many fields we plant. So, might as well buy that. So we'll head down to the dealership, we'll grab the roller, and we'll start rolling what part of the field has already been planted. You know, it's funny. It looks like we have a lot of honey, but honey pallets aren't very big. We got a couple of contracts we are doing at the same time. We borrowed the equipment for it. Oh, and there's an FYI for those of you that do contracts. Giants reset the numbers on the contracts, so you now need to complete, I think it's 85 or 86% of the total work. That's up from the 80-ish% range they had it drop to try and fix the contract bug. The field I just had to do, actually I think it's up to 90 based on the field I just had to do. I pretty much had to do the whole field. I missed a strip down one side and a little bit at the end. it wouldn't complete till I did. Wasn't very much, but it was a little bit more. So I'm saying it's around the 85 to 90% range that we now have to complete again for contracts. As Mr. CLP said, who was it really hurting? I mean, yeah, it made it a little bit easier to do contracts. You got a little bit of extra money for doing the contracts. But it meant you didn't have to faff around as much. And if you missed a little bit, it wasn't as important as it is now, where if you miss a little bit, well, you don't get the contract completion. I gotta put that over just a slight bit because the field's not perfectly straight. See, the field we're doing a contract on is only 50% complete. I bet it's going to make us do pretty much the whole thing. And I want to get out and check, but I don't want to mess with the roller. So let's do it this way and we'll check the field. Weeds are growing, so yes, it needs a weeder and it needs rolling. It wasn't mulched, so we are going to lose 2% there, but that's not a big deal. I'm starting to question on my other farm whether the 2% rolling or 2% mulching is really worth it for the amount of time it takes. If the mulcher was as big as the roller, I would say sure. But they're about half the size. Oh boy, I hope we have enough seed to finish this field. I'd hate to have to go get the truck and bring more seed out to the contractor. We're at 25% and we've only just completed 50% of the field. We're going to need more seed. Darn it, boy did I pick the wrong vehicle. Well, what is that one? Oh, that's a seeder. I can do that myself with the equipment we just purchased. But yeah, okay, so I would have had a small seeder either way. Let's see what some of these fields are worth. If we could find one, that's 160,000. That's not bad. And that's 285, but we don't have that much more arable land. And we're not... I mean... Dairy would be nice. I miss dairy. I'd like to get back into dairy. But the price of the barn is so expensive. Alright, let me finish up these contracts and then we will see where we stand. I'll take over from the helper now. And I'll see you in a few minutes. On a side note, this is rather interesting. And yes, I know I just ran out of seed on my cedar, which we knew was going to happen. But I'm standing in not the first, but the second grass field I visited. I don't own this field. And it says there are weeds. Now, if you've looked at the screenshot for precision farming, it is done on Erlengrat, and it has a John Deere sprayer spraying weeds in a grass field. So weeds, something we are going to have to take care of now in grass as well as crop fields? And is this something that actually accidentally got slipped into the game ahead of time? I think it's something that got slipped into the game ahead of time. And yes, weeding grass fields will be a necessity. I will have to look into that more, and next episode I should have a better idea for you. However, for now, we are done seeding this field. Come on, fold it up. We're almost done rolling this field. And then we will decide if we want to buy another field or not, based on your comments. Anyway, something to think about. Having to take care of weeds in grass? I have very mixed feelings about that. Anyway, thank you for watching, and we will see you next episode.